Ask Tom on Home Show.
Catherine from Memorial has a question about some weird warping.
Well, yeah, here's a picture, Tom, and she doesn't know why it's happening. And just in case someone watching is wondering what we're talking about, you can see on there's a little bump right behind the hinge, and there's some markings going along the top too. I don't know if that's related to it or not, Tom. But Catherine writes, we must have a water leak in the kitchen and a hot water pipe leading to the faucet under the sink, and now the wood in the cabinet is starting to warp. I can only feel the heat in the cabinets when the water is turned on, though, but when there's no leak under the sink. It's moist and it's hot in the cabinets to the left and below the sink where we had the condensation. So I guess, Tom, she's wondering what to do.
Well, the condensate is what it is. It's not a leak. A leak, if you had a leak in a supply line that was under pressure, 60 psi, 70 psi, it would be spraying water everywhere. You'd see it coming out from under the cabinets. I mean, you're talking about gallons and gallons of water over a very short period of hours, because it's not going to just be a little drip. Now, condensate will form on the outside of anything that could be hot when it's cold or cold when it's hot. You're going to reach dew point on the pipe and you'll get some sweating. That very well could be what happened. That bulge is the plywood is delaminating. It's just getting water in there somehow. And if it is a pipe or if it is condensate, to fix that, you would have to insulate the pipe so it wouldn't sweat anymore, just like, best example, that koozie you put on a Coke can or a soft drink can or beer can, whatever you're drinking outside, you put that on, it doesn't sweat anymore. They do that with refrigeration lines on your air conditioning systems. So it keeps the condensate from forming. And it could be, believe it or not, a very cold pipe too. I don't know. But the only way to know, and this is the problem, is you gotta, as I always say, if you want to know if it's wet, you got to pretty much touch it, stick your finger in there, and that means maybe drilling a hole or doing some investigation to where you can actually see it. Because something is happening. It's not getting any better. It's something that discoloration is mold growing. So it could be all over the place behind there doing some really terrible stuff. And if it's in the back of a piece of plywood and it's finally getting to that front, that part that's delaminating, which is your last line of defense, that means it's saturating all the way through. So a little investigation, whether you cut a hole and then patch it up later, it's underneath a cabinet, you can do some things where it won't look bad. Somebody's going to have to get in there and take a look to see what's going on.
It looks to me, Tom, when I look at this, these look like built-in-place cabinets. I mean, these don't look like, and so as a result, does that sound like the probability is she could be getting new cabinets?
If it's really bad, like I say, you don't know until you stick your finger in it. But what I would do is, and it might not even be a pipe. It could be something leaking from the, where the sink is attached to the countertops and water's getting behind there. I'm not sure what's going on, but you have to find out. And the only way is to cut a hole and take a look, or if you can go into the backside. But if it's all destroyed in there, then cabinets goes. And when you get new kitchen cabinets, people don't realize that you end up getting new kitchen everything just about. You get countertops involved, backsplashes, all your appliances. You don't put in brand new cabinets and take your old sink that's 40 years old and put it back. It just doesn't go with the motif. So sometimes it turns out to be a little bit more of a hefty project than you want to get into. So that's why I would investigate from underneath the cabinet first. In case it's something simple, you can always put a very thin layer of plywood over that on the inside, put the hinge back on, and paint it, caulk it, paint it, and it'll look fine and not have to tear the cabinets out. But don't be afraid to take a sawzall, not a sawzall, but a hole saw, and cut a round hole. You can get your hand in there and take a look with a little flashlight and stuff and see what you see.
All right, fair enough. You want to find out how to fix something, the easy way to do it is get Tom's advice by clicking on that blue Ask Tom button at HomeShowRadio.com. You can send us your question. You send us pictures like we got right there, and helps us understand a little better what's going on. And Tom will answer them for you. We post a new one of these every day at HomeShowRadio.com, our Facebook page, of course, our YouTube channel, the Home Show Radio YouTube channel, where, by the way, if you'll subscribe and click the little bell next to it, we'll notify you every time we put up a new video.